What makes America truly great? Is it military might, stock markets, or global dominance? Or is it the strength of its institutions, the rule of law, free speech, and democratic checks and balances? Because here's the paradox. By the logic of make America great again, it means America must already be remarkably strong, because if every past administration was supposedly bad and compromised by the deep state, and America is still standing, it is a testament to the strength of the country. And if you look at the first term of Trump and the last 6 months in which Trump has battered the system, yet the country is still standing tall, doesn't that prove just how resilient America actually is? But resilience has its limits. Under Trump's current term, the stress test is becoming a stress fracture. International observers who once trusted America's institutions are now asking, how long before the cracks turn into real institutional failures? The kind that turns great nations into cautionary tales. Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck, where science meets investments, and I'm your host Raj. Friends, Donald Trump, since taking office in January 2025, has knowingly or unknowingly unleashed the chaotic dismantling of the very institutions, principles, and systems that made America great in the first place. This is not just a matter of policy disagreement, it represents an unprecedented assault on the foundational pillars of American democracy: economic competitiveness and institutional integrity. Let's look at where the cracks are showing. The first one is in the rule of law and prosecutorial independence. America's greatness has long rested on the principle that no one is above the law. It seems Trump has shattered this foundation by weaponizing the Department of Justice, forcing DOJ officials to resign when they refuse to prosecute his political enemies. Eric Seibert, the Virginia U.S. attorney, who was forced out after declining to bring charges against New York Attorney General Letitia James, despite no clear evidence of fraud. The second aspect is targeting political opponents, publicly demanding that Attorney General Pam Bondi quickly prosecute James Comey, Adam Schiff, and Letitia James, turning the DOJ into a tool of political retribution. The other aspect is freedom of speech and press freedom. Free expression and free press have been central to American innovation and leadership. Trump has undermined both by using regulatory power to silence critics, leveraging FTC and FCC approval authority to pressure media companies. CBS canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert as parent company Paramount sought approval for a merger with Skydance Media. ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live under FCC pressure, while Trump threatened that Jimmy Fallon would be next. The Writers Guild called Colbert's cancellation a bribe to curry favor with the administration. The other aspect I want to talk about is extorting legal services. 9 major firms coerced into nearly $1 billion worth of free legal services to Trump-approved causes under threat of retribution. Attacking attorney-client privilege, 4 federal judges have ruled the administration is engaged in illegal coercion, undermining the legal profession's independence. And then we have the question of democratic representation and fair elections. Ordering Texas Governor Greg Abbott to redraw maps mid-decade, carving out 5 Republican-leaning districts in addition, is one of the big examples. Pressuring other Republican states to follow suit with a goal of securing 9 additional seats is super gerrymandering. Now let's turn our attention to judicial independence and qualifications. 7 of 10 Trump-appointed judges were previously rated not qualified by the American Bar Association, but were still confirmed. In his current term, Trump's administration has barred American Bar Association from participating in judicial ratings altogether. Massive H-1B fee hike of around $100,000 application fee, crippling America's ability to attract global talent. ICE detained 475 workers at Hyundai's Georgia plant, jeopardizing a $350 billion US investment plan. And then, of course, we have the tariffs and erratic economic measures that have dented consumer confidence and heightened recession risks. Step back and you will see the pattern. Trump is dismantling every institution that provides checks and balances on executive power. while undermining America's global competitiveness. What made America great? Well, let me summarize it. Rule of law, equal justice regardless of politics, free speech, open debate and criticism of government, independent judiciary, qualified judges free from pressure with lifetime appointments, fair elections, true democratic representation, professional independence, lawyers, journalists, civil servants acting without coercion, economic innovation, welcoming global talent and investment. Now contrast that with what Trump has been doing. Political justice, that is, prosecutions based on loyalty, state-controlled media, silencing critics through regulation, politicized courts, loyalist judges, no oversight, rigged elections, gerrymandering baked into the system, professional intimidation, services extracted under threat, economic isolation, driving away both talent and capital. And the ultimate irony? The greatest irony of Make America Great Again is that it is dismantling the very things that once made America great. Trump championed on restoring greatness, but is weakening it. The institutional integrity that earned global trust, the democratic norms that inspired the world, the openness that drove prosperity, the rule of law that ensured stability, and the free speech that powered innovation. Well, in conclusion, I would say America became great not despite its institution, but because of them. Separation of powers, a free press, fair elections, and rule of law weren't obstacles to greatness, they were the very foundations of it. Trump's systematic assault doesn't represent a return to greatness. It represents dismantling. The tragedy is that millions who voted for MAGA may end up delivering the opposite, an America weakened at its core. And here's the kicker. People come to America as refugees or immigrants because their own countries couldn't provide them safety, justice, and prosperity. By dismantling its institution, America risks reimaging itself into exactly the kind of failed state or fragile state that people once fled. Well, friends, what do you think? I would like to hear from you guys wherever you are in the world, and more so from our American watchers and viewers who would have a first-hand experience of what is happening and would have a much more valid point of view. I'm examining all of these things because from an investment perspective, we need to be sure that all the companies that we are investing in are operating in a fair regime where intellectual properties will be safeguarded and property rights will be safeguarded, as well as justice for various grievances could be handled in an amicable manner, in a timely manner, and in a very fair manner. All of those foundations might get trampled, and that could decimate our investments. So I look forward to hear from you. I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now. Have a great weekend.